Mhm. Switch up the flows again. Have the souls again. Mhm. Again. Another road again. Mhm. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. All right. Peace to you and yours. Greetings to everybody in the building. Brother Red, Portland Live and Direct. I am in New York City. I'm actually in the airport right now. You dig? Uh, Headed back to Atlanta. I was supposed to be up out of this bitch at 4 o'clock, and they pushed my flight back to 10 o'clock. I had a powerful show planned for you guys that was going to be entitled The Great Fall. I think we up to part 13 and whatnot, but I don't know what time I'm going to get home. So I was like, shit, let me go ahead and do a video while I'm in the airport and just let the fam know because I be watching YouTube and I be anticipating shows and whatnot. So I can imagine how people feel on Monday and Thursday when they don't get their fix. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure everything is all right. I was trying to go live this weekend, but it was so much going on in New York City. It's like I can't hold my phone and be doing epic shit at the same time. I literally need my own cameraman. I need a nigga on his Farnsworth Bentley to kind of like just record. You know what I mean? I need somebody to hold the motherfucking phone while I'm cooking. You know what I mean? Because there be so much going on. My hands ain't free. Um, but yeah, you know, yeah. But everything is dope. Everything is good. New York City treated me beautiful. You know what I'm saying? New York City treated me wonderful. I owe New York City nothing. That's what they be saying. I owe New York. New York City don't owe me nothing. Um, got to see family, friends. You know what I'm saying? Uh, got to travel, move around. I met. This is between us. Don't share this with nobody. But I literally met my sister, who is 50 years old, who I never met before. I was kind of nervous about that. And that's a long ass story that I don't feel like getting into in the airport, putting other people's business out there. But I literally met my sister for the first time the other day. And she got daughters and whatnot. And it was a beautiful thing, yo. It was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful thing, man. You know, my aunt, she had an anniversary. Her and my uncle been married for 50 years. I'm not even 50 yet. You know what I'm talking about? So they've been married longer than I was born. They've been married longer than I was born. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but I'm waiting for her to put out a book so I could read that shit and figure out the motherfucking secrets. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's a long time to be with another human being and whatnot. But my uncle said it was love at first sight. So you know, he was standing on business, and they have 4 children, and they still going strong and whatnot. They still going on dates. They still going on cruises. You know what I'm saying? They got grandchildren, and it was a beautiful thing to go and celebrate. People together, right? And to see family members, and it's not a funeral, because I only get to see my family when it's not good. I mean, we get to see the family. Let me not say it like that. I get to see my family during like gatherings and shit like that. But usually, when you bring everybody together and y'all all wearing black and whatnot, it's to bury somebody. So we cheated the system. We was able to cheat the game, and we literally was able to come together and wear all black and celebrate two melanin people being married for 50 years. That's breaking generational curses. That's breaking generational curses. So I never did no shit like that. I don't think so. You know what I mean? That was something new to me, and I got it done. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful event. I got to see my son and everybody. So, you know, big up to the family. Family is, for everybody out there who still has their family, and y'all don't link up like that. Like link up. You feel me? Try to link up. Try to put together some type of gathering. Just spend money and put money in a pot together, and bring your family together and just celebrate one another, and appreciate one another's presence while you still have the opportunity to do such. You know what I mean? It's important. These memories will live with me. Um, on the flip side of that, after I got the family business done, I had a workshop on Sunday entitled "How to Create." Well, it was called "How to Make Money in the Fantasy Complex Industry," but then I changed it to make it a bigger scope, and it was to how to create your own fantasy complex industry. And it was 8 hours. Like we really went in, and it was supposed to be me and Blue, but Blue didn't make the trip, so I carried it myself on my shoulders for 8 hours. It wasn't just me, of course. We had, I don't think I was teaching for 8 hours, maybe for 6 hours straight. But according to what the people who showed up said, they was like, this was one of my best presentations. And I did. I was pleased with my I was pleased with myself. So I delivered. I came and I delivered, and I gave people some applicable information. Not, we wasn't talking about things that we can't put our hands on. No disrespect to the people that teach about things that you can't put your hands on. But with inflation and with the economy and with people basically not knowing if they're coming or going, I decided that the next time I get up there to teach the people, it's going to be something to empower them. Very important. And empowered they were. You know what I mean? They walked away with empowerment. They walked away with a better understanding about the industries that we are all part and parcel to. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I don't know about everybody, but I grew up watching cartoons, which is one part of this complex industry. I, I grew up playing toys. I grew up reading comic books. I grew up doing video games. All of those industries were indoctrinating me and my brother when we were coming up. We didn't understand the nuances to everything that we were doing, all of the books that we were reading, all of the characters that we were falling in love with. We were identifying ourselves through the characters. Okay? I was Destro in G.I. Joe lore. And sometimes I was Cobra Commander, I was Snake Eyes, and I was Zanzibar. Or there was a nigga that took his face off. That was me. You know what I'm saying? So I would identify with the characters and whatnot. Um, no, no, no. What's the name of the evil twins on G.I. Joe? It was two of them, right? I'm trying to remember their names. But that was who I was. So the fantasy complex industry, and believe me, I can't get into it tonight. I'm kind of exhausted by teaching about it yesterday. But I broke everything down. Why it's a complex industry. I broke down the multiple complex industries. I broke down how these industries are responsible. What brothers on Tasha K? KT or Blue Pill? Who's on Tasha K? But we broke it down. It's 8 hours. And we broke down how each one of these industries were responsible for indoctrinating us from the impressionable years of 0 to 12, when our brains were malleable. So some of the top cartoons that I was watching was G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, and what's the other one? What was the fifth one? G.I. Joe, He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, and Voltron. That was the five pillars of Generation X. Okay? And I don't know about you niggas that are not from Generation X. No disrespect to none of y'all. I love y'all. But Victor Bowman, bro, that's not my brother. What you talking about? That's Sabi's son. You feel me? Salute to him. But I have three brothers. I just want to make it clear. KT the Arch Degree, Red Pill and Blue Pill. That's the brothers. It's okay. How can do y'all ever see me with that person? How could you assume that's my brother? You never see me with nobody. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand. But I get it. Sabi has like 60 children, and Lord had mercy. I am not running around saying all of those people are my brothers and my sisters. I can't do that. Respectfully. You feel me? And I don't think you would do that either. Like I said, I just met my sister and she's 50 years old for the first time. I just met my sister. Am I related to KT? Yeah, KT. That's my blood brother, my younger brother. I'm his older brother. You feel me? But you ain't never seen KT and Victor Bowman running around talking about they brothers. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Sabi was a stepfather, not a father. Not I have a biological father who looks like me. His name is Wayne. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, back to the programming that we as Generation X. That's what I'm saying. No disrespect to none of the other generations because I put all of their cartoons out there. I showed Cartoon Network. I showed Teletubbies. You know what I'm saying? I showed uh, all of y'all programming. Y'all programmed differently because you had different comics, you had different cartoons. My sister, I have a younger sister. When she was born, video games were already a thing inside of the house. When I was coming up, we didn't have video games in the house. You feel me? Yeah, Johnny Bravo. Y'all come from like Johnny Bravo. Y'all come from, hold on a minute. Y'all gonna have to come up take a walk with me. I know these niggas ain't canceled my flight. Johnny Bravo, um, different shit like that. That's not where we come from. We don't identify with those cartoons, and those cartoons are not the that didn't help. You know what I mean? That wasn't responsible for our programming. We got programmed differently. Like, and it you might not think that that means anything, but I promise you, it means a lot. It means a lot. You know, you could stand certain generations next to each other and you'll see the difference between them because they've received different information from different perspectives and whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just worth noting. Let me check something out real quick. My goddamn flight. 8. Did they send you more updates?
Hmm.
Did they send you more updates about the flight?
Yeah, we 7 minutes early.
Okay, now it's gonna be earlier because they sent me something about a voucher. Did you get that?
We were talking about that.
Okay,
Here, I sent you a voucher.
they just sent me a voucher. Yeah. Did
Full
you?
voucher.
Huh?
Full voucher. Full voucher.
So that voucher is to be in
One day for your voucher.
the fuck?
It issued you a meal voucher.
A meal voucher. Come on, these motherfuckers. Yo, don't ever fly Frontier, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you this: I caught a round trip to New York, and it cost less than it cost to check my bags. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I caught a round trip, and the ticket was less than my bag than it cost to check my bag. So, nigga came up. But anyway, you know, I'm gonna be putting segments of the workshop. I don't want to talk y'all to death about it. I'm gonna put segments of the workshop on the YouTube so we could get a better understanding about the conversations that we were having. But I'm doing a full course, and I'm doing like a 4 week course because the response to the response was very positive. So people really want to know more about it. So we're gonna get into it moving into 20 as we close out 2024, going into 2025. We are going to be diving into it a lot more because what the workshop initially is doing is introducing the concept of the fantasy complex industry and how we could create our own and how we could be players in this $1 trillion market. And people are now wanting to make their own comic. They understood after last night's workshop that they can make their own comic, they can make their own cartoons, they literally can make their own toys because I showed them that we have a toy, me and Blue Pill for the 44 tops. We literally have toys now. So when I was coming up, you couldn't tell me that I would be able to make my own toy because toys was running my life. You know, Voltron, the Volt. I had the original Voltron. It shit weighed like 8 pounds. We had GI Joe collections. And like niggas in my hood would kill for GI Joes. You know, cannot prove. Wanted to visit. Oh, you went to visit Hasbro? You're a legend for that. So I want to make toys that are gonna look like the old Thundercats, the old He-Man toys, the old GI Joes. Like I want to do that. I want to create my own characters and create my own universe and literally make those toys a reality. And that's what we're gonna be doing. So the journey has begun. Mm, mm, mm. Like 63. They be wilding in the airport, yo. Shit crazy. But outside of all of that, New York was lit. Shout out to New York. I know I talk crazy about New York, even on this show and whatnot. And you just gotta be from New York to understand it. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to paint that picture. New York is very unhinged. I don't even call it New York. It's Gotham City. You know what I mean? It's not New York. You gotta know where you're at so you can understand where you're at. So it's Gotham City. It's literally Gotham City. But you got to ask yourself, are you Bruce Wayne or the Joker in Gotham City? And once you can identify your role, then you'll be able to fit inside of the city the way that you need to fit. So I could function amongst the chaos. Like I don't know about other people, it might be the scorpion in me, but put me in a chaotic environment because I'm so secure in my aura and I'm so secure in who I'm walking with as a protector, it will never bother me. Like I actually thrive in environments like that. You know what I'm talking about? I literally thrive in the chaos. So me personally, I didn't see no crazy shit this trip. Like I didn't see no off the wall shit. I didn't see nothing that had me like, what the hell? Like I was literally looking for it. I'm like, where's the drillers at? You know, where's the drive-bys? You know what I mean? Like I was outside at night and I'm looking around. My head is on swivel because, I'll be watching the news, I'll be hearing things, and you would be under the impression that it's super violent and it's crazy out here. And that just wasn't the case. At least in my reality, you know. It was actually the opposite of that. I was seeing people who were focused. I was meeting people who had their shit together. I was running into people who were, doing what needed to be done. Um, Even street people, people from the streets, like they was focused. You know what I mean? They on their biz, they on their quote unquote they on their business. They on their business. So I would tell my New Yorkers, me personally, and I'm saying this, that I never left New York because I'm a New Yorker to the heart. So wherever I go, I bring New York with me. I never leave New York. So wherever I'm going, New York is coming with me. And I'm always going to bring back home what needs to be brought back home. I will never abandon my city. I don't give a fuck what's going on out here, you know? And I'm always going to bring the information and the resources back to the city for everybody that I fuck with that could benefit from it. That's what we do. You know, I'm on a world tour right now. That's all I see. You know what I mean? But I'm New York to the, you know, to the fucking to the soil. You know, when you think about it, New Yorkers are not in New York. Like New York is a melting pot of everybody but niggas who are originally from New York. They're not in New York. They're literally spread all around the world. This shit right here is just a migrant swimming pool. This New York is an Olympic pool filled up with people from everywhere else. It's a melting pot. It's more people like as I come out here because in the 70s and in the 80s it was Puerto Ricans, white people, and black people in New York. And the black people was considered FBA. You had a few people from the Caribbean here and there, but it was like Irish, Italian, Jewish, WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and FBAs and Puerto Ricans. It wasn't even Dominicans. And now everybody is here. So it just says to me, like New York, I seen there's a comedian named Ray, right? Ray, I think his name is Ray. I follow him. And he put up a meme and it said New York is the main character in the world movie. Something like that. Like New York is the world's main character, meaning that New York City is the main character in whatever this movie is. That's how I see that. And when I read that, I was like, that shit is exactly because this is the main character. Everything else, that's not Atlanta's not the main character. California, LA is not the main character. New York City is the main character. And what New York City is now is a reflection of the globe because we're global citizens, right? We're not marginalized to the block anymore. Think about it. We on the internet. We on the internet. And you niggas are still tripping about America and your block and your city and your state. You niggas sound goofy as fuck. The migrants are coming. Nigga, the migrants been coming. Migrants been coming since the 60s. What are you talking about? Like, I lived through different waves of what y'all are calling migrants. But literally, these are Americans coming to America, nigga, because niggas from Venezuela are Americans. Mexicans are Americans. Argentinians, Americans. People from the Caribbean, Americans. You got white people from Europe and other places telling you who's not American, and they not American. What, like, look at that. They're not American. They're part of a corporation, but they're not theoretically, biologically, they're not from the continent. And they putting batteries in your back to be to look at other people who are brown and have darker complexions and look at them like something is flawed or something is wrong with them. Oh, they coming to take our money. Nigga, that's not your money. The fuck? What are you talking about? That's not your money. Unless people are coming into your sovereign land, you should shut the fuck up because you don't own anything. You didn't even stand up and take back nothing that they took from you. So have a fucking seat, bro. What you should be doing is learning about these people who come from other places and learn about the places where they're coming from. And could you make some money out there? That's what I was talking to them about. Like, yo, you from Venezuela? Word, what they buying in Venezuela? That's what I want to know. I told the nigga go live. I want to talk to Venezuela, and the nigga went live, and I was talking to Venezuela on his live. Are you? Because y'all be wanting to go around the world and sleep with all of the women around the world on some passport bro shit, but you got a problem with people coming into your country, but you want them to treat you like a good American when you go to their country. Yeah, you got to figure this out. Stop letting these people line you up because that's what they're doing. They're going to line you up to be a op when you didn't have to be one. New York City and America is the land of migrants. Get over your fucking self. You know what I mean? The Africans came up in here. I remember in the 80s when the Africans was coming, everybody was treating them bad. The Haitians came, everybody was treating them bad in the 80s, calling them Haitian body odor and beating them up and everything. The Russians came and niggas was treating the Russians indifferently. And then who's the niggas who became mobsters? The Armenians came and then they started doing mob shit. Niggas started, falling in line and got scared of them. Um, It's just different waves of people. But one thing about New York City, if you give somebody 1 year in New York, they become a New Yorker. You can make fun of the migrants now because they're not assimilated and they stand out like sore thumbs. But I tell you this, I came to New York about a year ago. This trip, I couldn't tell who the migrants were because they were blending in, because they're assimilating into New York culture, okay, or American culture. Do you know what assimilation means? Assimilation looks like second generation, like the children of Africans who got here from the continent. Their children are rocking Jordans, wearing weaves, eating McDonald's, and wearing designer, right? They assimilated. So they assimilated into the whatever they say we don't have a culture. No, we got a culture, and that's what they assimilate into. So what the fuck? I'm not standing in, I'm not judging that. I don't have no dog in that race. I don't care about that. The fuck? I don't care about that. Cause one day y'all niggas might have to go to South America. Might have to go to Central America. You might have to go to Africa. You might have to go to China. And you might have to go to the Caribbean. I got migrant friends who are gonna make sure when I go to those countries that I'm good because I'm gonna take care of their compatriots while they're here. These people should be embraced and put to work. This is a labor force. These niggas are finna work for me. I'm about to put a table up, put them to work because they want to grind and they are learning how to grind. Look, in New York City, they have a they have a Maybe in your city too, the migrants have taken over the delivery, right? So they have an army of scooters. They've deputized these people to be the new ride share and the new mobile force. So anything that you want delivered, it's a nigga from Senegal who don't speak no English will pull up on a scooter and drop that shit off. They done took that shit over. They running Uber Eats, they running DoorDash, they're running that shit in New York City. Facts. Find something else to do because they got that. They got the electric bikes, they got the motorized bikes, they got the scooters, and by next year, they're gonna be on to something else. That's just New York. That's America for you. That's how this works. Y'all niggas is treating it like these are new inmates into this fucking insane asylum, and y'all are acting like the correctional officers, and y'all don't even have the keys to the goddamn joint. You just the inmates too. So you hating on new people because you're hateful, not you particularly, but that's how they training our people to be hateful through the media. The media is a part of that. People don't naturally have no bad feelings about people coming into America. That's just that lack mentality from the same people that stole the fucking land and the resources. How about go figure? So it would be of no that's why they have you with the distractions, looking at other people while they still steal from you. How about that? But you can't have a talk about reparations. You can't even get the word reparations out without these niggas slamming you and whatnot. But they want to make you go and kill the migrants. Nobody comes into America by mistake. I'm in the airport. I couldn't walk through TSA if I wanted to. Them niggas would shut the airport down if I slipped through TSA. So do you think people are coming through the borders and the government didn't want them to come through the borders? No, the government wants them to come through the borders. This shit is they washing money. This is all a fucking bureaucratic endeavor, and they're lying to you. Stop falling for the okey doke. And please stop being a monkey in the middle. It looks bad on you. You niggas always want to take up the fight for these Europeans and whatnot, and it looks bad on you. This has nothing to do with you. Put them niggas to work. The migrants, have them build a house for you, clean up your hood. I was in the hood and I was asking people like, yo, y'all don't give the migrants no brooms? Because it was dirty on 125th Street. I was like, yeah, y'all not hiring these niggas to clean up the strip because they're gonna do the jobs that you know black people don't want to do anymore. Why don't you pay them to regentrify your hood? You feel me? Why don't you pay them a stipend to regentrify? Because all regentrification is literally they cleaned up a dirty ass hood. They painted it. They fixed the broken windows. They picked up the garbage and they put those fonts on the motherfucking door. You know, there's a certain kind of font that when you start seeing those fonts, you getting gentrified. And they put a bagel store right where the trap house was. You could do that in your own hood. You could pay these niggas, uh, put some money in a pot, like a collection plate, and start paying those people that just sitting around Home Depot looking for some work. Go and buy some brooms and some rakes and beautify your hood. Start there, you know? Start there. This is no this is fair exchange, no robbery. You're not exploiting anybody. These people want to work. They're called a labor force. These are not these people that's coming up in this bitch, they're a labor force. But the thing is, there's a criminal element in every single group. You know, we have criminal elements. So don't be surprised that there's a criminal element that just want to sell drugs or they want to do prostitution or they want to rob niggas. They also have that as well. You know what I mean? But who cares? It's part of the culture. Niggas listen to rap music and act like y'all fucking Y'all niggas is listening to drill music, and then y'all want to talk about what the migrants is doing. I just can't do the hypocrisy. I just can't do it. You know, y'all are looking like tools of fools. They got melanated people looking like tools of fools fighting somebody else's fight. Has nothing to do with you. Those are your comrades. You feel me? Those are your comrades. There's some spoiled apples in the bunch, but for the most part, those are your comrades. I was in the train station. That they be lying. The police was right there, and them people are selling their fruits. They selling candy. They selling whatever they want to sell, and nobody is doing anything to stop anything as it should be. You know, one of the things that I did see though is they closed down all of the dispensaries in New York. The heyday of you niggas making legal weed money is over. You know what I mean, they squashed that. You know, they definitely squashed that. You know, they only got a few dispensaries open because them people want they it's a tax thing. They want the tax money. They want to get a PC. You know, they want a PC. You say your moms came in the mid '80s. Your mother coming into the America in the mid '80s and they gave her nothing. And what does that have to do with anything? We're not in the mid '80s anymore. You're diff- you can't go on the old rules of what how the game was played in the '80s and try to compare it as 2024. They're giving out money, they're giving out resources, they're doing whatever that. What does that got to do with what they did with your moms and whatnot? They wasn't giving the Africans, they wasn't giving the Arabs, they wasn't giving the Indians, they were not giving the Asians, they were not giving the Jamaicans, the Haitians, the Trinidadians, and the Panamanians. Nothing. And they still assimilated and became homeowners, business owners, and all kind of shit. So what the fuck are you talking about? America is, in the words of Tony Montana, a big pussy waiting to get fucked. And people come here and figure it out, and they figure out how to fuck her. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. And you standing around looking at it and talking about it and have a problem with how the fornication is taking place, but that don't mean, like, what does that mean? What does that change? Niggas is getting to it. They watching the same fucking TV shows that you watching. They seeing people like, once again, one of the reasons why I love New York City is because it's electrifying. It's people walking around every day getting to it. When I go down south, niggas is not walking around getting to it. They driving around and everything, but they not in the streets, foot traffic, pedestrians, chasing their dreams. Like, you know what I mean? This is I only see that in New York. But it goes back to what the workshop was about, where I was talking about our programming. We received programming from a complex industry where we were being taught through the video games, we were being taught through cartoons, we were being taught through comic books, and unfortunately, these images we could not identify with a lot of them, and we didn't use that programming to empower ourselves to basically become entrepreneurs and to start branding ourselves and get to the bag. It's the programming. But if I see anybody get into the bag, I will not open my motherfucking mouth to talk no type of way about that person. Because what do I have to say to somebody that's out here providing for their family? I don't give a fuck how they do it as long as they not bothering me. trying to take from my plate, you know? They get my tax money. I don't pay taxes. I could give a fuck about a tax money. I'm not that enthralled into, you know what I mean? They're not taking no money out of my paycheck. You feel me? So I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. Tax money, niggas talk about our tax money. That shit didn't work for, I've been here almost 50 years. Tax money is not this, that's not what's been getting me by. That hasn't gotten me by. Tax money didn't put me on 125th Street and to teach the people. Tax money didn't. It wasn't responsible for these lectures. Tax money wasn't solvent, wasn't curing AIDS and HIV with Dr. Sabi. I don't want to hear about tax money. You talking about something that you can't even touch. I propose that we have a black tax. I think that we should have a black tax. I think that every strip club, every titty bar, every gambling spot, every nightclub, every hookah bar, I think they should all be putting tax money in a pot where we could build our own shit up. I don't know about your quote unquote uncle's IRS tax and all of that. You fall for that? That I don't go with that. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not of that world, so I can't even identify with what you're talking about because I never signed up for that shit. You know, I want to talk about the tax of melanated people. We could be collecting our own type of taxes. That's the only conversation that I would even entertain when you want to talk tax or when you want to talk stuff like we need a black tax and we need a black vote. And I know the word black is a status, but the people who have that status, they need help. You know what I'm talking about? They need help. They need help. They need some type of fucking they need some type of stimulus, you know? And they need to begin to identify themselves as a separate group and begin to compound their resources. And the day that they do that, that's when everything changes. So we're getting to that day. We're heading in that direction. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But when melanated people decide that they want to divorce themselves from this quote unquote system and get off of the titty and stop letting Jerry Jones check you out, then because we was having this conversation on Instagram. Instagram went ahead and deleted my video because I was talking about I compared vampires to zesty people, zesty men, right? Interview with a vampire. I said that the people out there being zesty, like P Diddy and them, they're vampires because the concept of a vampire is basically a parasite, something that's living inside of a host. And when you look at the pictures of P. Diddy and you really examine them, he has a parasite that resides within him. You know, he has a demonic entity. Okay. And there's a lot of people in Hollywood that have demons in them, but he has particular demons, possession, and it's literally protruding. It changed how he looks. And some of you niggas running around who have been compromised, you also got bit by a vampire. Y'all look different now. You just look different. You look like you have something inside of you. And what people are confusing for, like, you know, they're saying P. Diddy got cloned. Look, his ears look different. P. Diddy got cloned. He doesn't look the same as when he was with J Lo. I'm like, it's not clone. P. Diddy got possessed. Y'all not ready for that conversation? How about P Diddy is possessed with a demon, and the demon was inserted through his back door because that's how they pass the demon seed. and that's how they possess other people, and that's how they break um, human beings and create alter egos through extreme trauma. Okay, it's called Roman antics. Extreme trauma. Who heard the video, the audio of where they say Diddy supposed to have been with Meek Mills? Right, there was a leaked audio, and it sounds traumatic. That was extreme trauma. That's how they create alter egos of certain people, like MK Ultra, traumatizing, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's late enough at night to have these conversations, but so now, remember when Diddy had dressed like the Joker, and there's a video out there where he almost got into a fight with a black actor, and Diddy was like, he don't even know who I am, right? He did know who he was. When you go back and look at the video, dude wanted to fight Diddy. He knew that Diddy was the Joker. He wanted to fight Diddy because of what Diddy did to him at a previous situation on the previous encounter. And then Diddy gave him a hug and whispered something in his ear and then walked away. It all makes sense now. So what Diddy was and what Diddy is and what other people are, he was the gatekeeper who was protecting the quote unquote Clive Davis and them, turned them out, right? Bit them like how vampire. Who saw Interview with a Vampire on Netflix? Oh my goodness, the new one, the one that just came out. Who saw that? Okay, now that Interview with a Vampire, it showed you right when now Interview with a Vampire. Think about the concept of a vampire. There's a person, a rich white man, has everything that you want because you've been taught right to clap your cheeks for all material things and Philip Drummond type of programming, different strokes, right? So you clap your cheeks anytime you see a white man with money. That's how you've been programmed, men and women. Both of y'all clap cheeks and grab ankles and do the bunny hop. So they turn out P Diddy, right? They run trains on him. They break him in. You feel me? They traumatize him, and then they tell him, "We're gonna make you the gatekeeper to the industry, but you have to." This is what they told P Diddy: "We give you money and power, but you can never allow anybody to get past the gates without breaking them." You understand? He says, "Yes, master." And they got him on a leash. He probably on his knees with a doggy bowl. And they like, sure you understand. You can never let nobody rise up in the ranks until they get broken. They have to get bitten by the vampire. And bitten by the vampire means turned out. So he says, yes. So he's the proverbial, when they say the boule is the guard dogs, or the boule are the ones who guard the gate. That's what a gatekeeper is. So him, along with a few other people who have power in the industry, the same way that Andre Harrell was the gatekeeper who broke him in. So every talented person who came to Hollywood with an aura and a certain light, they got peeped out by P. Diddy and his associates, and they broke them in. Justin Bieber, Usher, um, all of them niggas from Empire, certain songwriters that you never heard of and will never hear of because they came to Tinseltown and they came into the industry full of light, full of charm, full of everything, and they got their light snatched from them and they got broken by P. Diddy and company because that was their job. to break niggas at the gates, right? Because hurt people, right? Hurt people. So hurt people is an analogy of vampire activity. You bite somebody and then they bite somebody and then that person bites somebody. So it becomes a vicious circle. And when you look up, you don't know who was the original biter. But I'm here to let you know the original biter was Clive Davis. Unequivocally, no doubt about it. I put the house and $1 million on that bet. Who wants to go and bet against that? Okay. What about Jay? Uh, See, Jay doesn't have the same type of handler like Diddy. The Jay thing is one thing, but the Diddy thing is a whole nother thing. I've explained this to you. There's no Jay Z before Diddy. He's the architect. People, he might have got bitten. Chances are he could have got bitten by the Weinsteins of the world. Harvey Weinstein was his handler. You understand? But he's not on the level of a Sean Combs. He's not the main gatekeeper. Sean Combs was given the keys to the gate. Jay Z wasn't given the keys to the gate like that. I'm talking about 30 years ago. I'm talking about the beginning. You have to focus on the beginning so you can understand what the end looks like or why we're at the end. These are vampires. In so many words. You think vampire the way that Hollywood sold it to you. I'm saying vampire to whereas they are traumatizing and destroying people and creating alternate egos of people through trauma and domination and Roman antics. You know, what are my thoughts on the weekend? What do you mean? I don't know the weekend's programming. I know that the weekend his manager Cash XO was Diddy's manager, so he may be named because they're gonna start unsealing some secret indictments. To be honest with you, I drove by the federal facility where they're holding him. Y'all don't even know if he's in there. Like, there's no telling that he's in jail every day. Like, they could have that nigga in an Airbnb somewhere, and he could be debriefing them. Because if you see the video when they got him in the lobby, in the hotel, they didn't come to arrest him. They didn't run down on him. They was basically saying, "All right, guy, it's time to go back in. We're debriefing you." Similarly, it looked like the movie Donnie Brasco. Russell Simmons is definitely part of the vampire shit. But Russell Simmons, you got to remember the archetype that P Diddy represents as the black CEO, right? He's an anomaly because he Russell Simmons and them don't have that energy that P Diddy had. They did not shift the culture in that type of way. P Diddy is an archetype of the black CEO that niggas in corporate America, lawyers, doctors, um, accountants, rap, they all following his archetype, the young black man who grabs his nuts. He's a challenge to this white Western dominant thing with the P Diddy aura. You know what I mean? He'll tell you to take that, take that. He'll take your woman from you. He'll dance on the table. He'll tell you to SMD. He talks crazy, right? That archetype is running loose and they're killing all of them niggas off. All of those variants are getting clipped right now because white America or the Western, these Europeans said enough is enough. We're clipping that program. We're getting rid of that. Feel me? Does the Diddy thing connect to Bambaataa? Well, the Bambaataa thing has to be explored because at the end of the day, the Bambaataa shit precedes the Diddy shit. The Bambaataa shit is more tied to Russell. He was part of the Russell era of Russell Simmons era, where they was downtown doing coke with Keith Haring and Basquiat. Basquiat was getting turned out by Andy War. Basquiat was getting passed around. Fat Five Freddy was getting passed around. All of these niggas was being passed around by these rich white men in New York City in the early days. They was on coke, methamphetamines, shit like that. Feel me? Wasn't Father MC who gave Sean his name Puffy? I'm not 100% sure, but he stole his swag from Father MC. Father MC got hijacked by the likes of a P. Diddy. Father MC was that guy. Father MC was Diddy before Diddy, just in terms of certain, not the whole persona, but there's parts of Diddy that he took from Father MC. If anybody remembers that era, you know what I'm talking about. When it came, Father MC was a dancer. He was a ladies' man. He was a dark skinned ladies' man. He was a dancer. He was from Uptown. You know, he just had a certain aura to him, and Diddy copied that, along with other things that he copied. Jay is trying to emulate Basquiat. Yeah, something like that. As an artist, does it matter to continue to create music with everything that's going on? Of course, of course. As an artist, I would be making more music because it's showing you that your time is here. That you don't see that remember P Diddy shut down Wu Tang. He told Hot 97 you can't play Wu Tang. P Diddy killed conscious rap. He started in New York. Once conscious rap in New York died, conscious rap everywhere died. They closed the labels down. They shuttered the labels. They dropped the artist. P Diddy was the face of that. So when you see P Diddy falling, that means whatever he was standing on, whatever he stepped on, has the opportunity to rise up because he was responsible for destroying it. So now that he's being destroyed, yes, rise again. So if you're an artist on a higher frequency, you don't think that this is your time. You don't need me to tell you this is your time. You don't see that you don't see people are flocking to your type of music more now. They're not running. They're not saying I don't want to hear that conscious shit. I don't want to hear that. And no, nigga, D1 is lit. The Christian rappers is lit right now, nigga. What you talking about? Like alternative music is lit. Kendrick is lit. The top artist in the whole industry is lit. What do you mean? You better start writing some shit that's gonna be fucking lit. You better tap into this energy. This window is not gonna be open forever. This window is not gonna be open forever. You're supposed to be in the studio tonight. All of this shit going on in the news. You better write some fucking songs about it. Become an artist. Artistically express yourself. Tell the world, crystallize this moment, because you'll look back at it a year from now and be like, damn, I should have wrote a song when during that time because that shit felt a certain type of way. Yeah, right. You know, if you a painter, paint, nigga. If you a writer, write. If you a singer, sing. You damn right. You better not be lazy right now when this shit going the way that it's going. The universe is making moves for you. I promise you. Panic, Azazel, Brother Daoud, they on the other side making shit crack. You should put them niggas on your fucking shrine or your altar and give thanks to them. Put some food out to them. Brother Panic, Azariah Bay, and my good brother, you got Dr. Africa, Baba Kalindi, Brother Dawood, and there's a few other people that are unsung. They recently made transition. The shit that I'm seeing happening, they're the type of energy that would make shit like that happen. They would make this whole shit crumble because they wanted it to come down when they were here. So I would put them on my altar every morning. I would talk to them every night. I would give thanks to the work that they're doing because somebody other than niggas over here is what's making a lot of shit move and shake. It's not just niggas in fucking the hood, my nigga. This is some spiritual shit taking place. Yeah. This is some spiritual shit. I'm outside. I'm in the trenches. I'm in the hood. Nigga, the hood is awake. What the fuck? The trenches is lit. The trenches is woke. Them niggas, I know who's woke because of my face card. I can just walk through the airport in a certain city and just depending on how many people stop and be like, yo, you red pill? Oh shit, you from the internet, right? Like people are tapped in. People are tapped in. You know what I mean? People be watching this shit and won't even let you know that this is the new pornography. They watching this shit on the low. They watching this shit in the closet, nigga. But they're lit. Don't get it fucked up. This thing has permeated the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? It's here. So what you gonna do with it? You gonna let the TikTok niggas run with the cloth and claim that they built this shit up, or you're going to step into your space? You're gonna step into your role and grab this shit by the horns and give it everything that you got. Because that's what I'm finna do. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. I'm not slowing down. I'm finna. I'm stepping on the fucking gas. You feel me? Because the timing is now. Yeah, this is the new porn. You can't tell people you watching red pills. Your wife coming home, you throwing that. Hold on, what you was doing? Nothing. What you mean? What you watching? No, nothing. Chilling. Family matters. Yeah, it's the new porn. You know, and it's okay. It's okay. People are programmed. Motherfuckers been programmed their whole life. So this shit right here is this is extreme. You know what I mean? This is extreme. They're not used to no shit like this. Like you got to give it time. They got to become acclimated. But life is life, and the industry is falling. Watch the party die. The industry is falling. We told you it was gonna fall. We told you Rome was gonna fall. When in Rome, this shit is literally wobbly knees, my nigga. It's falling. But there's nothing to rejoice about because we don't celebrate prematurely. You know what I mean? That's how you get premature ejaculation. You don't prematurely celebrate nothing. You gotta stand 10 toes, nigga, until it's done with. So we got work to do. Got work to do. Okay? We do. We definitely have work to do. And the work that we have to do is amongst one another. We don't need nobody else. All we got is us. All we need is us. And they not like us. You know? So once we get that understanding, then shit will go a lot easier. We make it hard and it becomes a burden. But if we locked in, if the people locked in with each other and y'all really fucked with each other the way that y'all say that y'all do, we wouldn't be going through some of the burdens that we go through. And I'll just leave it at that. Did you see the trial for young Dolph's killers? Yo, Gotti got a lot of answering to do. I never really liked that fucking big head nigga. Yo, Gotti got a lot of answering to do. You understand? For those who are uninitiated and don't know what the hell I'm talking about, the murder trial for young Adolf, right? A Memphis legend, okay? And if you don't know who young Dolph is, I ain't finna judge you, but let's just say that young Dolph was one of them ones. He was messianic, okay? He was the voice of the trappers. He was the voice of the hustlers. He was the voice of the entrepreneur. from the trenches and whatnot. He was giving niggas that motherfucking that cloth talk that you couldn't get. He was living it. You feel me? He was the Nipsey of the South. Thank you. So we lost Nipsey and we lost Dolph. It's a huge. I mean, words can't explain the level of loss that was felt by losing them. His murder trial started today. Come to find out, there was two shooters. If you remember the tape, right? Two shooters popped out and hit him up in Makita's cookie shop, right? There was a cookie shop in Memphis, and they shot him up with the Draco 22 times. So one of the shooters is talking. One of the shooters is Woody, YSL Woody. They saw YSL Woody and was like, you know what? I'm gonna go the YSL Woody route. You know what I'm talking about? I got something to say. So he's singing like a canary. And the first day, it's just the first day. God damn it, it's a lot of shit going on. But the first day of the trial, he said that Big Juke, which is Yo Gotti's older brother, who was unalive about a year ago, right? At a party. No, at a wake. He went to a funeral, a wake. He got unalive at the repast, right? So they said they wanted a trial. The shooter, the one who actually pulled the trigger, it's two of them, right? It's two of them. One of them niggas straight drop. He's not talking. It's the other nigga that's talking. It's the shooter that's telling. I don't understand. It said Big Juke put $100,000 contract on Dolph's head, and they went in and they went ahead and got that. This is the kicker though. Imagine, just imagine that you go out there and you do some dummy ass shit like that. Cause I don't know how the arrangements go when you're doing a hit. Like, are they paying you up front? Is it in payments? Is it a payment plan when after you do the hit? How do you collect the money? Cause you gotta trust the nigga's gonna give it to you. You know what I'm talking about? How do you collect the money? Cause then you gotta catch up with the nigga who said that he had the bag for you and whatnot. And if he's an asshole, if he's an asshole, he could be like, what money? You'd be like, damn, I already done wiped this nigga out. So a Memphis legend, right, who is worth, he's priceless. Okay. Young Dolphin, it's price. You can't put money on Young Dolph. There's no price that you could put on him because his worth is so much in terms of who he was inspiring and who he was feeding and whatnot. He has no price. But this nigga who went and did the murder only got $800. Remember, mind you, I said that the hit was 100,000. So I'm assuming that they're gonna break it 50-50. So it's 50 racks for one shooter, 50 racks for the other shooter. This nigga got $100. He got $800. Nigga, do you know what I could do? Do you know what I did with $800? I might have spent $800 just in fees alone on this one little trip. What the fuck is $800? So you mean to tell me y'all took out Young Dolph for $800, bro? You mean to tell me that you took out somebody who's priceless, who is worth his weight in gold? You mean to tell you took a trillionaire, mine $1 billion worth of game for $800, and you wonder why our people have certain type of curses? Shit ain't really working for them. That's not even rent money. That's that is storage space money. That's the shit that you spend on your storage. And to be honest with you, it's still cutting it close because they want $200 a week in storage. 800 that where you living for $800 in America? You might have been talking about Thailand, my nigga, but not America. You can't even live in a shelter for $800. So you gotta make sure that you niggas have at least some bitcoins. You gotta make sure that the payment arrangement direct deposit or something, cause god damn it, you looking crazy. No wonder he's snitching. He need send that nigga what put some money on his books. He's telling the truth. Let's get him some commissary or something, cause god damn it, nigga, 800s, 800s, and you facing life, and you're gonna have to pay some way or another for what you did. Either the streets is gonna get you, or somebody gonna poke you up in a pokey and whatnot. You're gonna have to pay. It's not worth it. Don't let these niggas gas y'all up. All of my shooters out here listening to me. Don't let niggas gas you up. They're not gonna be there for you when you put yourself out there doing dummy shit. That's crash test dummy activities. You dig? Oh shit. Think my plane might be boarding. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk. I was gonna do a live when I got back to Atlanta, but I don't know how late it's gonna be. But if it's not too late, we will go live with a part two. I'll be in the office. I'll be able to, really have a good conversation. But I just had to and whatnot, you know, and make sure that, we had a conversation. So, we just sitting, we wasn't in limbo trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? But everything is good. Life is great. You know, it is what it is. You know, the workshop was a success. We're gonna be doing more. I think we'll be back in New York at Nicholas in November. Um, and if not, December. But yeah, you know, we we're doing what we gotta do. Doing what we gotta do. Yeah. When are you niggas gonna say free Diddy though? Nobody's out there. Nobody's riding for Diddy. No, none of his friends. Sucks to be you, man. It's like you don't have no friends. It's crazy. It's crazy. When you think about it, he don't have no friends. Like where I come from, they say that you gotta stand with niggas even if they wrong. They call it being wrong and strong. Like, you know what? I don't care if you was wrong. I'ma still stand with you and we'll just deal with it later. Not in this case. These niggas is like, who? Diddy who? They're like, who? Sean what? They reading off all of his aliases. Nah, I never heard of him. No. Doesn't ring a bell. This nigga's literally forgotten and whatnot. But if you were to ask me, I would say that he is in witness protection already. He's not in jail. That's just, they could easily say somebody's in jail. Like if he's in suicide watch in jail, that means that nobody could account for him when they say all of that. That means that if he's in suicide watch in jail, you won't have nobody saying, "Yeah, he was on my floor. I was cellmates with him." That means that he could be completely erased type shit on some Epstein shit. Because I never really thought Epstein was in jail. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, they would say he's in jail. They had like two hood niggas watching him. They could just say somebody's there. They don't have to be there. Like y'all gotta understand how this thing works. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I looked in the computer. It says that he's in a jail. Okay, you that's all you need. All right, cool. you know, because they literally take you out of your cell, and nobody will know where you are at until you come back to your cell, and they don't know what you was doing, who you was with, what you was talking about. Nobody will never know, you know. I know you niggas waiting for Jay Z to go down. Y'all are, especially you Little Wayne fans. You niggas is anticipating Jay Z and Beyonce to fall too. Like people are just invested in the downfall of people too much for me, bro. I mean, but whatever. If it happens, it happens. What is that going to change? I don't know what that's going to change. I know what the Diddy shit is going to change. Um, and he's big domino. So it's all about the dominoes. So as Diddy's going to he a picture of big domino falling, it has to bring other dominoes with it. So other dominoes are going to fall, um, undoubtedly. It's just a time of when and where. But the Jay Z hate, I've never seen no shit like this. It's building up. It's building up to be more hate than Diddy. It's crazy. The Jay Z hate is beginning to look more. It's like he did worse than Diddy in your eyes, and that's crazy, bro. But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just, people they're letting the hate consume them, and that's cool. If that's what gets you, closer to your truth, or if that's what makes you feel like you're gonna get reparations sooner, or if that's what's making you feel like your superpowers have been enacted by spreading hate and being hateful towards people, then you go ahead and knock yourself out. Me personally, I'm the observer. I'm just watching things happen. We put in so much work over the years that we're literally just watching the chips fall where they may. But we already kicked down the pillars of the matrix when we were doing the work, when we were blowing shit up, when we was exposing things, when we were demystifying things, when we were sinking people's boats. This is a result of that. And we did it without hate. You know what I mean? We wasn't doing it with hate-filled hearts and whatnot. We wasn't doing it spewing hate. We were doing it in love. Think about that. On 125th Street, niggas was in a love language. Dead ass. Niggas was in a love language. We wasn't hate mongering. It wasn't like Instagram likes to call me a hate mongerer. You know what I mean? We wasn't hate mongering. We was spreading love the Brooklyn way. Can I talk about the spiritual changes in the Middle East? Yes. When I go to the Middle East, I'll speak about it. You know, you have to go there to feel the spiritual changes. I don't want to really talk about places where I'm not at. I don't want to do that type of reporting. I want to literally go to a place because literally I was talking about New York and I wasn't out here, and it took me coming out here to be like, damn, I shouldn't have been saying certain things because it's not what it's. Your perception is not always. We're perceiving a lot of things from afar. Not too many of us are literally in the fucking mix to really speak truth, to be like, yo, I'm in this shit. I know what I'm talking about. I'm right here on the ground. Niggas is not. We're dealing with propaganda, emotions, and all type of shit. My question is, whatever happened to the Hell's Angels that was going to Venezuela to free the complex in Aurora, Colorado from the Venezuelans? Just to show you a example of propaganda and how you can't believe nothing that you hear on the internet. And once again, niggas be sitting around speculating, But if you're not on the ground, shut the fuck up because you're just repeating lies. So whatever happened to the Hells Angel? Did they have a silent shootout? Did they have a did the media not cover the war that took place between the Hells Angels and the Venezuelans? No, it never happened because the story about them taking over the apartment complex was not true. The same way that they like, oh, or there's the other thing that could have happened on the way on the high on the while, when the Hell's Angels was on the highway on the way to Venezuela on the way to Colorado, they got a fucking tweet about dogs and cats being eaten in Ohio, and they made a emergency turn and went to go save the fucking cats in Ohio. You niggas sound fucking crazy out here in Springfield, Ohio. You niggas sound goofy as fuck. Not that's why I don't be on the internet. You know what I'm saying? All of that internet consciousness and these internet rumors and all of you internet peanut gallery niggas. I hate you niggas. I can't stand y'all because y'all sit around regurgitating skewed realities. Y'all are non-functioning. You're NPCs, and you're bringing people into this fake reality. It's not real. It's not real. Fucking cats and shit. You niggas is eating Chinese food. They've been frying cats up for the longest. It's not real. Like, come on now. Snap out of it. You know what I'm talking about? Snap out of it. You just wanna it's like people just wanna latch on to some type of salaciousness. So you could throw any type of red meat out there and these niggas are like catfish. They're gonna eat anything you throw into the water straight like that. They're fucking catfish. They eat anything. These are pigs. They just eat anything you throw into the pigsty. So any rumor is gonna get regurgitated. It's gonna go viral. Any type of propaganda, any type of false information, people are spreading it, and it needs to stop. We need more researched information. We need more truth out here. And we need you niggas to start reading again. That's a fact. You know what I mean? There's a lot of students out here. And, you know, you gotta be a responsible teacher, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or they gotta be more responsible. But I'm about to get on this plane. Like I said, inshallah, I get to the crib and I still have some good energy. I will go live. And if you don't see it live, you'll see the replay. But this is part one of Melanin Mondays. We do have a lot of things coming. We have an announcement on Thursday for my Patreons about the class that we'll be doing, the lecture that we're doing in October. I just locked it down today. It's going to be dealing with spirituality and it's going to be a sister. So, I'm speaking to my demographics and my audience of beautiful melanated women who been hitting me and they've been asking spiritual questions and they need a spiritual guru or a teacher and whatnot. So I got that for you. I got an OG, somebody who is one of the original quote unquote teachers out there before this shit became um, what it is today. So with that being said, love and light to the family. You know what I mean? We're gonna link up again very soon. Peace, love, and light. Y'all stay focused and dangerous. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. We'll get up. Peace.